And if you ever come in here again with a goddamn opinion, I will shove it so far up your ass, you'll never see the light of day again.
So the Disney Channel original movies video is gonna be a big one. I'll be discussing over 90 movies within that video. So that's gonna take a while. Might as well discuss something shorter. Shorts. Oh, I can discuss YouTube Shorts. No! Okay, maybe not YouTube Shorts. How about Pixar Shorts? Those are always fun. I remember when I was younger, I had a copy of Ratatouille on DVD, and one of the biggest features in the main menu was a short called Your Friend the Rat, which featured the characters from the movie. The idea of making a short film tends to scare a lot of filmmakers away. Tell a memorable and great story in a few minutes seems impossible, right? Mission impossible! Of course, what I mean by this, it's harder to make a great story fit into 5 to 10 minutes, and Pixar does that quite often, actually. Their whole story begins with a short film. But what makes this ranking video harder than my 2022 ranking and Adam Sandler ranking is that I only hated 3 of the 34 shorts. The rest is pretty damn good, if not just slightly mediocre. So today, I'm going to discuss all current 34 Pixar shorts available on Disney+, and ranking them worst to best in good old Xander fashion. Keep in mind, I'm sure I'm going to miss a short because I didn't bother looking at Wikipedia's list. I just went off of what was listed under Pixar shorts on Disney+. Also notable, I included anything that was originally made by Pixar, whether it be a simple short film or a short film that accompanied a theatrical release, alongside some of the Disney Plus original stuff. This does not include a few things. Spark Shorts, I could do another video on Spark Shorts, so I excluded them. Toy Story Tunes, I'm already planning a video on these shorts, so no reason to double it. Cars Tunes, the Mater Shorts, also wanting to do a video on these, so no. The Forky Shorts that released alongside Toy Story 4. Absolutely not. These are just the main Pixar shorts, nothing too fancy. There's 34 shorts to get to, so let's begin. Fortnite. The worst Pixar short is The Legend of Mordu. What, it's the one that released with Brave. What do you want from me? The Legend of Mordu is the most bored I've been watching all 34 of these shorts in the span of one night. Again, I didn't like Brave, so why would I like the short that explains the backstory? It's got that old lady that everyone who's read the Pixar theory knows is Boo from Monsters, Inc., obviously, explaining The Legend of Mordu. And that's it. It's just her explaining this boring as all get out story with the most boring visuals of all the Pixar shorts. Again, Brave had a similar issue, but here's the thing. If I conk you on the head with a frying pan and then I show you a pretty kaleidoscope, does it make the conk to the head by the metal frying pan any less painful? No, it doesn't. You'll still be saying, "Ah, my head!" And then Seth Rogen's like, "My cum-covered head, it fucking cum-cover hurts, my cum-cum." Holy shit. I really need to rank those movies.
My life is like a video game.
The Legend of Mordu has one thing going for it. It has a really good punchline. Like, I did laugh, but that's all I got. A slight chuckle, that doesn't make up for the, I kid you not, 7-minute short film. That is one of the longer shorts on this list, and it makes every single second drag for way too long. This and the next two are the ones I didn't like, straight up hating them, so just note, negativity won't affect the whole video. Moving on.
It's big, scary, and pink! So's Patrick's dick.
Boundin', I never got. This is a really weak story for a Pixar short, and this was a really weak story for a Pixar short, and this was at a time where Pixar shorts were picking up in quality. Its animation is fine, but it's not all that funny, and the story is pretty cookie cutter. At the most, it does have a really good message about finding yourself and flaunting it, with no need to hide behind someone you're not. I thought that was a really heartfelt message. And I mentioned the animation earlier, it's almost gross looking. Like, good, but in a gross way. I have no idea, man. The shape got shaved to his balls, what else can I say? Overall, I can't call Bound horrible, but of all the other big Pixar shorts I really liked, it's not one of them.
Bring on the mariachi band! That's not mariachi!
And the last Pixar short I hated was One Man Band. Yeah, I'm sure that surprises some people because, from what I've heard, this is a really well-liked short. It released back in 2006, and that was around the time I was just getting into Pixar. I had just watched Cars, man, that shit was hype. One Man Band is really boring. Unlike the last two, there's nothing inherently bad about it, but it doesn't leave the same impact other shorts left at the time. It's the story of a young person, we'll just go with that, trying to donate a coin to a wishing well. But instead, a one-man band tries to earn it through his, well, one-man band. However, a competing one-man band tries to fork it from under the other's nose, and it becomes a really drawn-out, one-joke story that doesn't really work for me. The animation is nice, and I'm going to stop mentioning that because pretty much all these shorts look nice. From here on out, I'll point out especially notable animation. How about that? Back to One Man Band, the biggest thing I got was a few chuckles with the slapstick. Other than that, nothing. This one was immediately forgotten after I watched it. Moving on.
Stop!
Okay, so this was the first Pixar short. It's only a minute long, and it's just a test animation to see if CG shorts could work. That being said, I really had no real thoughts on The Adventures of Andre and Wally B. First of all, The Adventures is a lie. It's 1 mile and the bitch gets stung. I really have nothing to say. It's very much a basic story with a few funny moments, which is more than a minute-long film should get. But whatever, it was their first short. I just wanted to mention I didn't like it as much as the others, but I respect it for being the first.
I am the storm that is approaching.
I'm very indifferent about Partly Cloudy. An alright story with kind of a lame premise. Okay, literally the first 2 seconds try to tell kids storks bring the babies. That's how babies are made. Meanwhile, I'm gonna tell 5 kids how babies are actually made.
Oh my god!
What is up with restraining orders, man? I'm over this. Partly Cloudy has the premise that clouds make all the beautiful things in life. Babies, puppies, kitties, the list goes on. Well, one cloud can't quite get it right, and makes things that often hurt his stork friend. Of course, this slowly drives him crazy, and you can tell what happens from there. It's not particularly funny, arguably that's not what the short is trying to do. It's trying to show off a neat idea, but with a botched execution. Overall, Partly Cloudy is fine, but it's not top-tier Pixar short material.
I look like a fucking clown to you?
Here's a fun fact, I found Red's Dream to be surprisingly okay. When I was watching another video on Pixar shorts, the guy said he thoroughly enjoyed Red's Dream. I did too, but for different reasons. I like the beginning, with the rain, the outside of the bike shop itself. This is great animation for 1987. A huge upgrade considering this would be their second short after Andre and Wally B. But then the story kicks off and, yeah, it's alright. It's about a unicycle who dreams that he could be in a circus act. And I'm not even going to bother with spoiler alert, I don't care. He finds out he was just dreaming, and look how sad he gets! The hell, Pixar? That's depressing. And it ends just like that. There's no happy ending, like a circus clown comes in and buys him the next day. It just ends. Speaking of circus clowns. Yeah, when it gets to the big act, it's cool to see the motion of the animation, but the animation itself, God, that clown is scary. I will never insult Sid Phillips again.
Where are your rebel friends?
Overall, it's fine. It's sure to be entertaining for the kids, but I don't think it holds much for the adults. Outside of the motion, which is what I think the idea of the short was supposed to be.
You are a toy!
I'm about to name the one reason everyone likes Tin Toy. No, not him. Nostalgia. That's what I was trying to say. Everyone my age or older have seen Tin Toy, and everyone remembers it fondly. Yeah, no, not me. Tin Toy's not bad. It's considered classic, but it's not good either. The story is very interesting, but it's founded by this creepy-ass CG baby. This is 1 year after Red's Dream. I'm sorry, 1987 CG clown. The payoff is alright, I guess, but the story lacks the classic feel of the Pixar shorts. I get why a lot of people like it, I'm just not in the boat. I'm in this one!
I'm the biggest bird. I'm the biggest bird.
Another one a lot of people remember being classic, For the Birds, was released in 2001, and yeah, I can see why people remember it. I just don't think it's all that great. The story follows a bunch of birds who mock a bigger bird. This bird, of course, makes the lives of these birds a living hell. It's got a simple message, treat yourself, wow, Jesus Christ. It's got a simple message, treat others the way you want to be treated, or simply be nice. The story is very hit and miss. Sometimes a really good expression comes from one of these birds. And the payoff is okay. I'm not too big on this one, but I can't say it's awful either. It's got a good classic feel to it.
This is gonna be the best night of our lives!
I'm not too big a fan of Monsters University, so the short honestly shouldn't be all that great.
Why was it better than the entirety of the movie?
Party Central is funny with a pretty lackluster basic college party story. This short is packed with a lot of really good jokes, but not all of them land. There's one joke in particular I absolutely loved. It made me laugh hard. Other than that, yeah, I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed the movie, so that's fun.
You are a
Bitch.
Of this list, Pixar had 3 shorts that were Disney Plus exclusives. One for Toy Story 4, one for Luca, and one for Soul. The worst one is definitely the one for Toy Story 4. Lamp Life isn't awful, it's just kind of dull, which is interesting. I find Toy Story 4 passable, not my favorite of the series, but it's something that I can watch without regurgitating my dino nuggies. Lamp Life is very much a simple story about Bo Peep's journey with her sheep from life on the lamp to where she was in Toy Story 4. It's not an especially interesting story, it's got a very forgettable 1 or 2 jokes, and when the joke is funny, it's a light chuckle. But hey, it's good to see the story be told. I'm sure there was someone wondering what happened. It doesn't even have a really deep message, it's very in the middle for good reason. It's just an in-the-middle short. Man, I'm going to be shitting on a lot of people's childhoods with this list. Luxo Jr.'s alright. Of all the classic stuff from before the 2000s, I don't think this one is especially strong. It's only one shot of a lamp and a little lamp playing with a ball. Of course, the little lamp gets a little too adventurous and ends up popping the ball. But unlike Red's Dream, where it says, this one actually has a happy ending. There's so little to this short, yet it's kind of charming. Not even kidding, it's one singular shot and the whole short takes place in this shot. It's a charming story, just not as strong as some of the other shorts. George and AJ, which released alongside Up, isn't especially great animation, but it's made up for with a humorous enough story and a decent laugh or two. George and AJ were of course the characters who worked at Shady Oaks in the movie. This is one of the first shorts that features an alternate take on the movie story. This shows how George and AJ coped with seeing Carl's house fly away. How many times do you see a guy's house flying away, huh?
I'm standing adjacent to the location where yesterday onlookers witnessed a liftoff by what some are calling a flying house. Tell us what you saw.
It's funny enough, just not what I would call top tier. It's good though, definitely check it out.
You are a
Snowman.
So Knick Knack is a very interesting phenomenon because I could have sworn it came out in the late 80s, and it did. Kinda. It was made back in 1989, but Pixar never released it until 2003 when Finding Nemo came out. I find it interesting this is the one they waited on because outside of being a cute story, it's fine. It's about a snowman and a snow globe trying to get out to party with the summer Knick Knacks. Particularly the bikini girl. Pixar was perverted back then. The one thing I really chuckled at was the ending punchline. Great way to end off the short. Other than that, it's fine. I don't really feel one way or another about it. I don't know, moving on. 22 vs. Earth was a short that released alongside Soul, and I'll be the first to say, 22 wasn't exactly a strong character in the movie, so I don't see why I would watch a short about 22. That being said, it's fun enough. There's 2 to 3 jokes that really stick, but the rest is pretty forgettable. To say the animation looks nice would just be complimenting Soul, which I have no problem doing, but it would be best to save that for the ultimate Pixar rating! 22 vs. Earth isn't especially great, but it works alright, just shy of my top 20. Of the 2 Up-themed shorts, I think Doug's Special Mission stuck with me more than George and AJ because it was just a lot more memorable. Doug is a cute character, and seeing how this story ties into the story of the movie is really cool. It's humorous enough with some good slapstick, with a good message. It's not especially deep or anything, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't have fun watching it.
This is our day, my lieutenants. Master will have much reward.
Right!
As I mentioned earlier, Your Friend the Rat was my first Pixar short. I had Ratatouille on DVD, and I loved the short when I was 9. Now that I'm 20, I kind of see it as just fine. It's a lot longer than the other shorts, but unlike Legend of Mordu, it doesn't immediately translate to being bad. The story is simple, almost a documentary on the history of the good stuff rats have done, little fucking rodents. The humor is especially good in the last half, and I like the mixture of animation styles, from the classic Pixar look to traditional to stop motion to even 8-bit. It's a good mixture of creativity. My only thing is, it is a little long. As I said, this is an 11-minute short compared to the usual 5 to 6 minute shorts we see, but hey, it's still entertaining, and at this point, it's just kind of difficult to rank these shorts because all of them bring something to the table.
So what do you say? Can we make peace and...
2016's Piper isn't especially strong, but it's cute. It's a very cute story about a group of birds, specifically a mama bird, trying to teach its young how to find food on its own. Of course, this bird doesn't understand, and upon trying to get food, a wave strikes the bird and it scares the bird to death. The mama bird tries to teach the baby bird there's nothing to be scared of. The short is especially cute with the animation, and the water animation looks gorgeous. I look at something like Red's Dream, which had 1987 water animation, and to see how far we've come with it, it's so great to see. The story lacks what the great Pixar shorts offer, but it's made up with a lot of great visuals, and as I said, it's really cute.
Ghostlight, I respect thee.
Mayor and the Ghostlight probably doesn't interest every viewer. Especially if you don't get Cars or the Cars universe, you won't like it too much.
I was 4 when Cars came out. Give me a break.
Mayor and the Ghostlight is a funny enough and enjoyable enough Cars short.
It sure is a nice night.
I sure hope Mater isn't waiting around anywhere to scare me, 'cause I'll freak out.
It's the only one that wasn't considered a Cars tune, so I decided to rank it. It's got a very good sense of humor, and the visuals are fine enough, especially when the ghost light comes in. Mater is fun enough, and overall, it was fun to get to revisit this one.
right here.
Let's just be calm for one second.
Riley's date isn't especially strong, but makes up a lot in the wholesome nature. Much like Inside Out itself, it knows when to dial back the humor and have some very real moments. It also has Riley's mom using young people slang from the 90s. And yeah, that's a little awkward, but the emotions, reactions make up for it.
Layer it with cool words the kids say, so it's not obvious.
So, what's the dealio with Jordan? OMG, he is awesome sauce for sheezy.
The boy Riley ends up going skating with is so uninteresting, it's kind of funny actually. Again, he's not a main character, so whatever. The different balance of each character's emotions really is fun. How the dad has more business strict emotions, the mom has the cast of book club. The fuck is a book club? Overall, I enjoyed Riley's first date. It's cute enough and has some fun concepts. Lou! Okay, up to this point, I genuinely had to spitball my ranking, just a note. Little things made the biggest impacts. Anyways, Lou is a short that played in 2017 with Cars 3, and if you can make Cars 3 enjoyable, that's something of a feat. Lou is not a very strong short, but it's a cute short. In concept, a bully keeps stealing things from kids at recess, and a lost and found box creature, it's a little weird, decides to make a deal with the bully that if he can return all of the lost and found stuff, he'll return the bully's plushie he lost when he was younger. Such that the creature known as Lou teams up with the bully to make things right. The design on Lou is amazingly creative. I was genuinely surprised by how creative it was to mix different commonly lost items to make a great design. I also love the ending. I'm going to try to stay away from spoilers from here on out, just know it's a little emotional, not going to lie. Overall, Lou isn't my favorite, but I can see the appeal.
Edna mode.
Auntie Edna is really fun. This was of course to coincide with the release of Incredibles 2, and while it's not my favorite Incredibles-based short, we'll get to that in a little bit, this is a very creative short. Jack Jack needs a babysitter. Well, that worked out so well before. And thankfully, Auntie Edna comes to the rescue. This short gets a lot of really good laughs, and the creativity behind the scenarios with Jack Jack is really cute. Edna is a personal favorite Pixar character for me, so it's great to see her get her own short. Overall, not much to say. It's funny and cute. A good combination. While I'm not too big of a fan of Wall-E, Bernie is a funny enough short. Featuring a character kind of teased in the movie, Bernie is essentially a repair bot that works on the ship, and tries to repair this one light, but it goes wrong in a lot of different ways. One of my favorite scenes is when he first finds out the light is gone, and he goes back to the main robot that supplies him with these lights, and they're just silent. Almost as if this is how it is for robots to go to their supervisor and say, hey, I fucked up. It got a good laugh out of me. Speaking of humor, this short has really good humor. Despite being much longer, it showcases a lot of good humor out of essentially one storyline, and the ending gets a good chuckle. Again, not a Wall-E guy, and I'll explain that if I ever do the ultimate Pixar ranking, but for now, good short all around.
You're fired!
Ciao Alberto is the latest Pixar short I watched, and it's probably the best of the 3 Disney Plus originals, all because it catches you off guard literally in the last minute. It's a story that takes place after Luca, a film I genuinely enjoyed, and it features one of the main characters, Alberto, trying to impress Massimo. Massimo? Is that his name? His boss, essentially. A lot of humorous things happen, and I get a good chuckle here and there, until a falling out happens, and then the big wow moment that happens that ultimately put this short where it is.
Just let me go, Dad!
It's cute enough, it has a really good message, and it's humorous enough. Good short all around. Lifted, released in 2007, is one that a lot of people might remember from the 2000s shorts. And it's not the best one, but it's a really fun one. The idea is a man is being abducted by aliens, but one of the aliens is essentially trying to pass his driving test in this case. I thought that was pretty creative. But the alien keeps messing up and ultimately fails. It's got a good heartwarming ending with a few really good laughs. I think what makes this one stick out is the design of the 2 aliens. It's basic, but it sticks. Overall, I liked Lifted, but it was just shy of the top 10. Again, from the top 15, it was difficult to rank these things. Sanjay's super team almost got beat out by Lifted. It was 2 points behind until the ending. The ending really gets you in the feels, especially if you have or had a close relationship with a parent, specifically your dad. The story is Sanjay is obsessed with superheroes and comics, specifically one team called the Super Team. Yeah, it's not terribly great writing, but whatever. However, his dad wants him to practice Hindu traditions, being traditional himself. However, during the tradition, Sanjay imagines a team of superheroes inspired by Hindu gods, and the superheroes fight off an evil force. The animation is really great here, definitely has a different style from the other shorts. And overall, the ending is what makes the short worth it. I won't dare spoil it, and what's weird is you almost think it's going a different direction. but it goes in such a great direction. I love this short, definitely top 10 material.
Is this your card?
No.
No. Check under your foreskin.
Presto is another from the golden age of Pixar, and it's a short I genuinely loved. It's got a good sense of humor without anyone saying a thing. It's almost all told through these hilarious facial expressions. It follows a rabbit who's especially hungry, but his magician master tries to get him to participate in his act, with hilarious slapstick results. I think what works best about Presto is just the lengths this bunny is willing to go to get to this carrot. And it's ultimately paired with some hilarious slapstick, and as I said, hilarious expressions from both the magician and the rabbit. Overall, I really enjoyed this one. Moving on.
Where's the baby?
Jack Jack Attack is just funny. It's a really funny short featuring Jack Jack from The Incredibles being babysit by Kari. I don't know how to spell it, I can say it though. Of course, Jack Jack coming from a superhero family, his powers start to kick in, much to the fright of Kari.
Campfire.
The humor, visuals, and animation all work to the short's favor, and the ending is a little disturbing. I mean, I can't act like that wasn't the case with the movie itself, but yeah, a little weird how it just ends. I like that it's also considering the story of the movie and ties into that. Overall, hilarious short with a disturbing ending. Classic Incredibles. La Luna is a very beautiful short. Like, this animation is pretty to look at, even if I didn't know what the hell was happening in the short until the end. What, they take a boat, they have a ladder that reaches the moon, and they try to sweep off the stars to the moon? All I can say is, once the ending came in, it makes sense. The story might be weak, but the visuals and character modeling, especially on the two older people who bring the kid along, is very creative. But is it just me, or does this guy look like Massimo? I like this video thing. Massimo from the dude! I just talked about him, Luca. Boom. I don't know. Moving on.
Day and Night.
Day and Night is one of the most creative shorts in this ranking. It uses CG for the basic events, but it's one of the few shorts that use a 2D style. It's pretty much about a figure representing day fighting with a figure that represents night. But after a while, both realize there's pros and cons to each setting. The creativity comes from both the visuals and audio cues. The sound effects in this short are really great. A really well put together short all around. What keeps it out of the top 5, sadly, I just found 5 other shorts that were somehow better, and this is just how the cards folded.
Krakatoa.
Lava isn't especially strong story-wise, but the song and the motion really hit hard with this one. This is one I kept hearing about and seeing on YouTube recommendations. I just never saw a real reason to watch it. Lava follows one song playing throughout the entire short, featuring a lonely volcano who, of course, through his magical song, is able to find his soulmate. It's a sweet short, but what makes me remember this a little bit more than Day and Night is that the song sung by, oh god, here we go, Napua Grieg, Kawana Torres Kaheli, and Munir Liadi. I am so sorry if I butchered any of those names. It's so good. It's simply called Lava. Check it out. It's on Spotify. The animation isn't anything revolutionary, but that's not the point. Great short all around.
Kasparov trying to convert one of his rooks into a unicorn. That hasn't worked at all.
The only game I'm going to play is the game of guessing how you spell his freaking name. Gary's game. No, it's gotta be Jerry. Jerry's Game is a classic for so many people. It came out between the first Toy Story and Bug's Life, and it's still remembered. The short, if you've lived under a rock for the last 20 years, is about an old man playing chess with himself. Yeah, it sounds a little bit weird, but the creativity of how they set up the shots in this short not only make it seem like he was playing with another person, but I almost believed he was. Despite it showing at the beginning he wasn't playing with anyone. This is a genius short, and I'm sure you've all seen it. I know I'm not saying anything new by saying I really enjoyed it. Go watch it if you haven't already. It's a classic. Yep. Mike's New Car is my favorite movie-based Pixar short. Yep, the top 2 are originals. And in my opinion, Mike's New Car is the funniest of the Pixar shorts. Back-to-back jokes that hit hard, a charming enough story about Mike Wazowski getting a new car that happens to be 100 times worse than his old car, and visual slapstick that hits hard in the funny bone. I've got very little else to say. It's a great short. I recommend checking it out. Bao is very close to being number 1. Because I have such a good relationship with my mother, it's weird this one speaks to me on such a personal level. Bao is the story of a sad mother who finds another chance at parenthood with a dumpling. Yeah, I didn't catch what it was. Coming to life. She watches the dumpling grow almost the way her own son grew up, going through the rebellious teen phase, finding the mother annoying for being so overprotective, and the story ends kind of depressingly. Not like Red's Dream or anything, but it works so well on a story level. The final 2 minutes of the short had me crying so hard I almost stopped watching the shorts. I had to say to myself, that was too good. How could it be topped? It was topped by one short. The Blue Umbrella is my favorite short. It is not the most emotional. It is not the funniest. It's not even that deep. but it is the most creative short I've ever watched. Not even by Pixar standards, by short film standards. When I first put it on, I almost thought to myself, well, no one really talks about this one. Why would I like it? Well, I gave it my attention, and I don't regret it. It's about a blue umbrella finding love with a red umbrella. That is the basic plot, but the way they tell the story through the visuals, through the music, through the emotions, it all works so well. The blue umbrella is something that needs to be discovered by everyone. It's that good. I loved it, it made me cry, it made me smile. It's my favorite Pixar short. That was a close second. The blue umbrella is indeed my number one. Speaking of number one, time for me to take a piss. I'll see y'all later. What? Why are y'all still there?